feel lucky today. Welcome to today's AM Minnesota program because I'm lucky we can talk about the Rice County Fair today. John Dvorak is in studio. By the way, we want to say thanks to these great sponsors of our Fair Talk here on KDHL, Tom's Lock and Key of Faribault, the Craig Killer Insurance Agency in Nerstrand, IBEW, Local Union 110, Faribault Senior Living, and the Faribault Vacuum and Sewing Center. John Dvorak is in studio. John, it's hard to believe, a month and a half, and we'll be getting set to roll.
It's fast approaching, and the days seem like they're coming faster and faster, but things are coming along. The grounds are looking good. I've got a great crew of maintenance individuals that are out there, behind the scenes, getting things ready, fixing what needs to be fixed, and cutting the grass, and just making sure that the grounds look good. And it's man, we started this once a month back in March, and there was still snow on the ground, and I thought, wow, we got a long time before the fair, and wow, it's fast approaching.
I did take a swing through the Rice County Fairgrounds earlier this week on my way home, and I thought to myself, boy, it looks nice, and won't be long, and this place will really be hopping.
You got that right, and it's amazing because the week before the fair, it's like somebody comes and plants some fair seeds, and all of a sudden here these
with a lot of fertilizer.
With a lot of fertilizer, yeah. And all of a sudden there's a carnival and a fair, and everything grows up, and as fast as it comes, it goes fast also. So.
Going to be a little bit different though this year at the KDHL booth right there, watching and visiting with folks at the fair. I don't know how many times a day I'd see Diane Horman ride by, so involved in the fair, and she passed away earlier this year.
Yeah, you're right. It's our fair board, the people that are on our fair board, we've been together for many years, and it's a close family. It's like your second family, and truly she was one of our family, and we lost a big important part of the fair board, part of our family. Diane did a lot of things behind the scenes.
And she always had a smile on her face.
She always had a smile. She did. And, the thing I'm going to miss most about Diane is a lot of times I would get a call, and I would see on my caller ID, and it's like, Diane Horman. And I'm like, okay, Diane, what did I forget to do, or what didn't I do yet? So I quickly had, before I'd answer, I'd always kind of think, so I'd be ready for her question is why I didn't do this yet and what I'm doing, but sometimes it was totally a different thing. But she truly was one that kept everybody on their toes. She kept me on our toes, and she's going to be missed. There was a lot of things that wouldn't be happening at the fair if it wouldn't have been for Diane.
Such a supporter of the fair. I mean,
she was a very big supporter. The whole family was a big supporter. And they did everything at the fair, it was as a family, and all of her children would be around, and her grandkids would be around, and you don't see that much anymore, where a whole family like that gets involved in one entity. And I'm sure that the rest of her family this year will be there carrying on the torch.
And I'm sure that she would have wanted it that way too. Still be involved in and supporting the fair because it was such a part of her life.
And that's true, and she always had ideas, and she was one of the most resourceful people that I knew. There was a lot of things she started. She started the children's barnyard. That was her that put that together, and she thought it was very important that people that didn't live in the rural area or weren't involved with farming could come and see, what was it like to hold a baby chick? What was it like to pet a baby calf? What was it like to, see the ducklings and the baby lambs? And that was a big part of her, and she wanted to educate people in that way, and she did such a fantastic job with it. She was constantly looking for different groups that would send out different displays that would be brought into the fair and into that area for people to see.
Today's AM Minnesota program. John, before the micro break, we were talking about Diane Horman and what a great volunteer she was for the Rice County Fair, and she's going to be missed this year. I think every time I go out to the fair, hear about the Rice County Fair, I will spend a few seconds thinking of Diane and remembering her smile and her laugh.
That's right, and you know, like I said, she will be missed, and you know, along with starting the children's barnyard, you know, she was the one that scheduled all of the livestock judging times and the dates, and you know, that was all part of her job that she did, you know, and she took pride in it. You know, Diane was a person that everybody comes to the meetings, and everybody comes and everybody has ideas, you know, and Diane was always full of ideas. She had a lot of vision that she would look out and see. But you know, the thing that I appreciated the most about Diane is she would come up with an idea, and if that idea didn't get used, she would support the decision that was made by the board.
Real team player.
And she was a real team player, and never did she carry a grudge. You know, I never heard "I told you so" if something didn't work out the way we had planned it. And she was always supportive. She was always a person that, okay, let's take this idea and let's improve on it. You know, what can we do different? How can we improve on what we're doing? And that's what I liked the most about her. And one of the qualities I thought she had is, you know, she never carried a grudge. She never.
And she didn't care about who got credit for what. If it turned out to be a good idea and was good for the fair, she was happy whether it was her idea or somebody else's idea.
Exactly, you know, and you know, there'd be a little grumbling going around and sometimes, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, she would be right there supporting everything, and you know, she would be in that office every day because she would always do the, she started some contest over the website. And you know, that'd be her daily ritual. She'd come into that office with her laptop, and she'd go through everything, and she'd update the Facebook, and she would update the website, and so you know, it's I know we've got somebody to take over the website, and that person would do a good job, and but you know, it's just Diane coming in every morning. It's going to take a little getting used to this year, not seeing her.
Are there any plans or maybe putting a plaque somewhere or a tree or something just as a permanent memorial to Diane's memory and what she did for the fair and how she's missed and thought of?
That's something that hasn't really been brought up yet or discussed, and I'm sure, you know, we've got a few weeks left for the fair, and I might take time to sit down with Dwayne and the rest of her family and just see if there's any plans that they want to do, and you know, we'll think about it and see what they want to come up with, and I guess whatever their wishes are, that's something that we'll try to accommodate with them.
Can I tell one funny story about Diane?
Go ahead.
It was at some community celebration at Grandma's lunch wagon.
Mm-hmm.
So I started calling her Grandma. She informed me she wasn't old enough to be my grandma. And the laugh afterwards, you know.
Yeah, you know, and that's just the one thing about her is, you know, she was, you never quite knew what she was going to say, but, you know, every time, you know, she'd like to razzle and hassle you just like everybody else. And it was fun, and, you know, that's why I kind of like to take this morning and dedicate this show to Diane, because she was a hard worker, and she's going to be truly missed.
Well, let's talk about some of the newest developments for the upcoming Rice County Fair. A lot of I's dotted and T's crossed at this point. The big plans were probably made months ago.
They are. We've got a few we're working on. We try to have some time slots set aside. We'd like to get some local talent to come in and perform at the fair this year. Somebody from the area. I've got a gal that's working on that, and she's busy making some calls and trying to get that lined up. We have our free entertainment pretty much lined up. I think we have a good variety of things, and you know, that's something that I think we can spend some time on here down the line, so I can get a list together of everything we got. Grandstand, everything is booked. I think we got a good lineup in the grandstand again this year. We are going to have a performance on Tuesday night where we did last year. Unfortunately, our carnival will start on Wednesday instead of on Tuesday night. And so,
now, you mentioned that last time you were on Minnesota, something about moving and all the inspections and everything. So
it is, and it just from where they're all coming from is it just doesn't allow them enough time to get set up, and so we made the decision last year, let's get it set up right and work with them. We're working with the carnival so they can, and it's just going to be safer all the way around.
And we talked a bit last time too, I remember, about some of the things that goes on behind the scenes to make sure that the fair is safe, with the electrical inspectors and the ride inspectors. A lot of time and effort goes into making sure that everything goes smoothly and everybody enjoys the fair.
That's right, and the health inspector, he every Tuesday, the start of the fair, he'll be there inspecting all the food booths, so everybody can rest assured that those food booths are all state licensed and they're all inspected when they come there. The food inspector does come and he inspects every booth. The electric inspector comes by and he inspects every booth also.
I remember one year we were running an extension cord from somewhere and just had our equipment plugged in. He stopped by and said, no, that wasn't up to code, and here's how it had to be. And I think there was a call to you or Jim Hermel at the time, and we got it taken care of. But
that's right.
It can rain, and so you want to make sure that moisture and electricity don't mix very well, so you want to make sure everything's done right.
No, they don't, and that's just part of it, and you get frustrated. Well, why do we have to do this, and why do we have to do that? But there's reasons for it, and the last thing we want to do is be dialing 911 because we had an incident that's happened, and so you want your fair to be safe, and I want people to be able to come to the fair and knowing that they're in a safe environment. I want the parents to know that when their children come down to the fair, they're in a safe environment, because that's important. That's important to know that, and I can't stress it enough that we spend a lot of time. Last year, Sheriff Dunn and I, we went through our whole emergency plan. What are we going to do if something happens?
Yeah. Whether it's severe thunderstorm or a lost child or
exactly
whatever.
Exactly so. And we go through. We cover everything to what would happen if a train would derail and had chemicals. What would we do? Who would be that person that would make that final decision to clear the area? And nobody would want to do that at the time, but something that might have to be done. Hopefully that will never happen, but we have plans in place. What's the procedure? How are we going to do it?
Well, that's what's nice, that this can all be thought out ahead. When all at once you're in the point of crisis, sometimes bad decisions can be made, and the hype of everything going on. Here you pull out, okay, here's what we do, we worked it out, here's our list, down we go on the list.
And the sheriff department, they have their command center there. They're monitoring the weather all the time, so I'll know 2-3 hours ahead of time, a storm might be brewing out west or out east or moving our way, and how fast it's moving, and what the time frame is. What do we have to look out for, and what are we going to do if a major storm comes? We have an aluminum bleachers. What do you do when there's a thunderstorm or a lightning storm coming through? And you always hope that you never have to evacuate, but we do have policies and plans in place if we would ever have to, and hopefully it'll never come down to that, but I just want the public to understand that there are procedures in place, that if something like that was to come down, we would know what to do and how to handle it.
And then I'm sure that if something really big happens, you've got this procedure worked out with Troy, but then they can put the call in for more help if something were needed.
Exactly so. So that's one of the nice things about, we have a good relationship with the police department. We have a good relationship with the fire department and the sheriff's department, and so you can rest assured that if there was an emergency, it's going to be handled the best way possible.
John, I was thinking during the break, you mentioned the free entertainment. You didn't go through the list, but there's some slots worked in to have some local talent there. And that's what county fairs are all about. Local people getting involved, whether it's taking things to open class or seeing if you can get your band or your group to perform in one of the free stages.
That's right. Or we've got we've got our contest again this year. We have a new contest this year that one of the fair board members come up with. But You can make a square for a quilt, and I think you can bring that in and get it judged. And I think what the plan is they're going to try to make a quilt out of all of these patches. So that's something that's new, you know, somebody that might appeal to somebody. We have our salsa contest. That's always been very, very popular at the fair. We have a chocolate pack.
You don't forget the most important one.
The apple pie.
The apple pie. The official judge here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So,
like I always say, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's exactly right. So, I mean, but you know, these are all events, you know, that anybody can come and participate in, and they can be a lot of fun. And I hope people that take advantage of it and they come down, not because they want to win, but just because they want to partake in something, and that's a lot of fun. And so, you know, we always look forward to it. We have a karaoke contest that we try to get all ages involved. Patty Anderson does a great job, and she's going to be taking care of the karaoke contest again. But, you know, she's got a great way that she can involve the smaller, the young age children up until the older individuals. So, but she does a great job with it. That's always entertaining. You know, and we have our daycare day for the daycares to come down and enjoy the fair. We're going to have Kids Day again this year on Friday, and Ronald McDonald is going to be coming back again this year.
And we have the bands for the kids for the rides and everything.
We do. We'll have the bands. You know, they'll have the arm bands. If you don't want to buy the Passport to Fun, or you can buy that Passport to Fun ticket where you can ride unlimited rides the whole week of the fair. So there's plenty of opportunities out there, you know, to fit in anybody's budget. And you know, that's what the fair is all about, is come on out and have a good time, enjoy yourself, and that's what it's all about.
You probably mentioned too, it thanks to the Rice County Board of Commissioners, because they do help out a lot with the fair in terms of some financial support. It really takes a team effort to have a nice fairgrounds and a nice fair.
It does. They do a great job of coming in, like in the off season like this, keeping sure that the lawn is mowed. You know, we do have several other events that go on at the fairgrounds.
I've noticed more of that over the years. I think more activities being scheduled for the Rice County Fair. And I'm thinking, beautiful facility, so it's nice to see it used more than just the week of the fair.
Well, that's right. You know, it is a public facility. You know, the public is welcome to come and use it. We do rent out several buildings for party rooms. We do rent out the infield. I know for the 4th of July weekend, we do have another Mexican rodeo coming in on the 5th of July. So, you know, we're just trying to utilize it as much as we can.
Any other special things coming up that you'd like to mention about the Rice County Fair, John, before I get carried away? Why did you laugh at that?
We got one of the things that I just wanted to mention is, you know, I noticed a lot of the people that are sponsoring this program today, there are a lot of people that are participants in the Rice County Fair, either financially or I know the senior citizen, they come out and we have our senior day for the senior citizens. A lot of the individuals that are sponsoring this program are also sponsors of the fair, and I really appreciate those people, because without their sponsorship, there's a lot of these things that wouldn't be possible. And there's a lot of these sponsors that give out a fair amount of money. We appreciate it, and that's what helps us put on this great fair that we put on.
Otherwise, about the only income you would have was your share of the carnival and then parking.
Exactly. And then we do get revenue from when we rent out our booth spaces and our vendors. All of our vendors that come to the fair, you know, they pay a flat fee. We don't charge no commission on what they sell. So, you know, that brings in income, and then, you know, we hopefully depend on donations. I've got several companies out there that said, hey, you put on a great fair, what can I do? They send in a check saying, we want to donate this to this fair because we
and
believe
we'll
in what you're
sponsor
doing.
this grandstand event or this free stage or sponsor something.
Exactly so, and I've got some people that send and want to stay anonymous. They say, hey, you know, it was a great fair. We don't want any acclamations for it. We just want you to have this check, and so we get people like that, and we appreciate it. And it's kind of a good feeling to know that people do appreciate, you know, what my board is trying to do, and you know, I know I come here and we have these interviews, but you know, by all means, it's not me, just me. I have a full board behind me that are busy behind the scenes, and they deserve a lot of credit.
One of my favorite parts of the fair is just sitting back, yes, relaxing in my own personal recliner, but watching families.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes mom and dad, the kids, and maybe grandpa and grandma are there, or great grandma and grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
They're enjoying the fair and going to different things, seeing the fair, enjoying the food. That's just, we don't do that enough.
No,
these
we
days.
don't.
You know, families are nowadays seem to be going different directions. A county fair can bring a family together.
That's right. And then, you know, what's even more enjoyable to watch is you see these families and whether they're first timers in 4-H or their families, and then through the years you watch this family grow, and you know, then the next year and the next year, and then it's just kind of, it's amazing, you know, just to watch these families grow and how they get involved and the different things they get involved in. And it's just, yeah, you're right. There's no other place that, you know, I think that you can come out and do some of these things that you can do as a family, as you know, either through 4-H or being involved with the fair, or you know, it's just a great time.
Wanted to mention too, one of my favorite activities at the Rice County Fair, the Rice County Agriculture Hall of Fame program. Invite everybody in that Wednesday morning, enjoy breakfast, and then we have the program. Rice County Agriculture Hall of Fame recognizes Century Farms, Sesquicentennial Farms, outstanding conservationists. There again, that's what county fairs are all about.
Yeah, that's right, you know, because, you know, that's why fairs started, you know. It was to bring the rural area to meet with the city people, and you know, it was, you know, to educate them what they did out on the farm. And it's just a tradition that started, and it just kept on growing and growing, and it keeps on growing. And you know, my board is bound to determine that there'll always be a fair, and without their help, you know, there wouldn't be one. So you know, it's a lot of work, but you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of reward to see that, you know, you put this event on, and it went through. A lot of people enjoyed it, and you know, you're thinking of constantly what you can do next year.
Your satisfaction and payback is seeing people there enjoying the fair. That's what makes it all worthwhile.
That's exactly right. You know, and it's for the people. It's for the kids. It's, you know, it's there for them to come out and enjoy themselves. You know, it's a free intermission. It's a free admission into the fair. You pay for parking. That's all you pay for. There's plenty of free entertainment throughout the day. Plenty of vendors to
you can
buy food
you can
from.
spend a fair amount of money, or you can spend very little money at the fair.
Exactly so. Exactly so. So there's something for everybody. That's the best way to put it, is there's something for everybody.
Wanted to say thank you again to the great sponsors of Fair Talk here on KDHL. Tom's Lock and Key of Faribault, IBEW, Local Union 110, Faribault Senior Living, Faribault Vacuum and Sewing Center, and the Craig Keller Insurance Agency over there in Nearstrand. As we get closer, you're going to hear a lot of other businesses being mentioned, supporting things at the fair. We only have about 40 seconds left, John. Anything else you'd like to mention?
I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, Jerry, for making this possible, and we come in and talk about the fair. KDHL is our official radio station for the fair, and we're glad to be part of it, and we're glad that you're part of the fair. So, you know, it's a great team, and we enjoy everything that you help us out with for the fair.
And I do enjoy the fair, even though everybody picks on poor little innocent me.
Well, you know,
that goes without saying, right?
That goes without saying, that's right.
Thanks, John. We'll talk to you again
you.
next month. John Dvorak is the Executive Secretary of the Rice County Fair here on KDHL.